Hello friends! Today we will animate the first slide of our presentation. Before we start, let's prepare the working area. We can close the format menu on the right side of the screen. We don't need it now. Next, we should add two menu bars, the one for animation and the second to have access to all our layers. For the first one, click Animation tab and select Animation pane. To add the second menu, select any shape on the slide. Go to Format tab and click Selection pane. The Selection pane gives us access to all layers on the slide, including text, shapes, images, and videos. You can adjust the size of our two new panes. Just click the left border of the pane and drag it to adjust its width. Also, we want to set Auto Preview for animation, so we can see the result as soon as we add it. Open the Animations tab, Preview, and make sure you have the check mark next to the Auto Preview. When you become more experienced with animation and know how each effect works, I recommend to disable it, so it doesn't distract you. Okay, now we need to think how we want to animate it. If we animate every single element on the slide, it will take too much time to appear and it will distract our audience from the content. That is why I think we can make a nice opening, add several animation effects to the slide to attract viewers' attention, and make transition to the next slide. Let's start with the animation of the key element on the slide, the pink shapes with the text. As you remember, it consists of multiple shapes and we need to group them before animating. Select the inner rectangle with the text and two triangles on the sides. Hold the Ctrl key to select several objects. Also, we need to select the semi-transparent rectangle that we placed under the sign. Hold the Ctrl key and click the text space. Now we can group them, Ctrl+G. If you check the selection pane, you will see that a new group was added, and it includes 4 layers. For your convenience, you can change the name of the group. It helps faster navigate between layers. Just double-click the sign to edit the text. In our case, I will not do it because we don't have that many layers, but you can practice and change the names so you can understand what is what. When you have 40-50 layers and more, it really comes in handy. Okay, as we grouped the shape, it is time to animate it. Select the shape and click the Animations tab and go to More in the right bottom corner. PowerPoint offers 3 main types of animation: entrance, mark it green, emphasize, mark it yellow, and exit, mark it red. It also has motion path animation, but it is kind of emphasize animations. For now, we need to add entrance animation. Let's choose the split animation. You can press to play from button in the animation pane to see how it looks. The animation starts on the side and moves to the middle, and I want to reverse direction. Select our animated shape in the Animation pane and click the Effect options in the Animations tab. Choose Vertical Out. Okay, good. Now we need to change how it starts. PowerPoint offers 3 options: on click, with previous, and after previous. By default, all animation starts on click. It is good when you need to present your slides to the audience. But when you make the presentation for the video, you should choose the other 2 options. Based on my experience, I recommend to use Start with Previous animation, because it allows to make more fine-tuning animation. It is particularly important when you need to sync your animation with the voiceover. If you decide to use Start After Previous with the audio file in the same slide, the animation will play only after the entire audio finishes its playing. It was partially fixed in 2019 versions, but still have some pitfalls in working with animation and audio on the slide. Moreover, the start after previous is easy to use and you can understand how it works from its title. That is why we will mainly use the start with previous animation in our course. So, right-click the animated shape in the animation panel and choose Start with Previous. Next, select both triangles placed close to the first shape. Go to Animations, click More Animations and choose Zoom. Let's change how it starts to with Previous. The default timing for zoom animation is 0.5 seconds. I think it is too long for us. We can reduce it to 0.25. Select both animated shapes and change duration to 0.25. OK, good, but I don't want animation to stop after the shapes zoom in. So let's add more animation. This time we want to select one of the emphasize animations, pulse. Select both shapes. You can select them on the slide in the animation pane. And click Add Animation menu, go to Emphasize and choose Pulse. When you want to add additional animation effects to one object, it is important to use Add Animation menu, otherwise all previous animations will be lost. As you see in the animation pane, all entrance animations are green. Emphasize yellow and the exit animations will have the red color. It will help you navigate between effects. Now let's select the last two animations in Animation pane and right-click Start with Previous. Next, we need to change how long the animation will play. By default, it repeats only once. And I want it to play to the end of the slide. So, select them, right-click and press Effect Options and go to Timing tab. Here you can change how it starts, delay, duration and repeat. If you click Repeat, you can see that it offers various options including number of times, as well as until next click and until end of slide. I recommend to use the until end of slide option, in case when you specify the exact time of transition to the next slide. In our case, it is better to set specific number of times. Let's change repeat to 4. I think it will be enough. OK, great. And now we need to do the same for the rest two triangles. To save time, we can use Animation Painter command. It copies all animation effects from selected object and applies to other ones. Select one of the animated triangles and click Animation Painter. If you want to apply effects on the object, click once. If you need to use it multiple times, double-click. Let's double-click and click the rest two triangles. As you see in the animation pane, the new animation was added. To deselect the Animation Painter, click it one more time. Next, let's organize the animation effect in the right order. Move the last two entrance green animations up and place them under the rest entrance animations, keeping the same order. Always try to position effects in the order they are played. Now, if you play all animations, they will start at the same time, but don't worry, we will fix it at the end. Before we set the timing, I want to add animation to the video opening and transition between slides. You can always use the standard transitions that are pretty good and simple to use. But I want to teach you how to make custom transitions. First, we need to draw the new rectangle to the size of the slide. Change its color to pink and remove the border. If you check the selection pane, you will see the new rectangle on top. Let's change its name to pink to avoid confusion since I want to add two more rectangles. Double-click the title and type pink. Now let's duplicate it. Ctrl+D and change the color to blue. Align it center and middle of the slide and change its name to blue. And the last rectangle we need to add is gray. Repeat our previous actions to create it. Now we faced the problem. The gray rectangle covers the entire slide and we don't have access to the rest layers. The solution is the selection pane. As you see, next to each layer there is an eye icon. Selecting or deselecting this icon makes the layer visible or invisible. Let's click the eye icon for all 3 top layers. We see the slide. OK, let's animate the opening scene. Make all rectangles visible again and select the gray layer. Animations, more animations, exit animations, fly out. Change the direction of animation in Effect options. To top, set the duration to 0.25 and start with previous. Now, select the blue and pink layers in the selection pane and apply Exit Animation Split. Change the Effects options to Vertical Out, time to 0.25 and start with previous. Next, we need to move all exit animations on top, select them in the animation pane and drag them to the top, above the rest animations. Don't forget to hold Ctrl key to select multiple objects. Make sure blue rectangle is placed above the pink one, otherwise it will be not visible in preview. Great, we did the opening. All we have left is a transition to the next slide. We will use the same rectangles for the transition. Select the blue rectangle, click Add Animation menu and apply the entrance animation Fly In. Change the direction in Effect options to From Top Left, duration to 0.25 and start with previous. Now select the gray rectangle, Add Animation menu, the entrance animations and click Zoom. Change duration to 0.25 and start with previous. Good job! And the final step, adjust the timing of all our animations. We want to make the most of them happen sequentially, one after another. Select the gray layer in Animation pane. As you see, the delay is 0. It is good, it starts right away. Next, select the blue, want it start after the gray, so we change the delay to 0.25. Next, the pink one, change delay to 0.5 to make it start after the previous 2 animations. Let's hide all 3 layers for now so we can see the slide. Selection pane, click the eye icon next to gray, blue and pink layers. Now select the group of the shapes and change delay to 0.75, so it starts right after the opening. Select the next 2 shapes and make them start after the previous shape, delay 1.25. Next 2 shapes, 1.5. OK, good. We reached emphasize animations. The first 2 of them should start with the previous, at 1.5, because they appeared at 1.25 and we want them to continue moving. And the next 2 animations should start after the first 2, at 1.75. Actually, let's reduce the repetition for the last 2 layers to 3 times. Select both of them, right-click, Effect options, Timing, Repeat, and change to 3 times. I think it will look better this way. Now we can make the 3 colored rectangles visible again. The blue rectangle should start animation after all animations are finished, delay 3.5. And the last one, gray rectangle, at 3.75. The animation of the entire slide takes 4 seconds. I think that's good. Deselect all animations in the animation pane and play all to see how it looks. Great, we finished the animation of this slide and can move to the next one.